Did Jeep just tease the 20th anniversary Rubicon at Easter Jeep Safari? Find out today. Well guys, as most of you know, Easter Jeep Safari did kick off this past weekend, and we're in the midst throughout this entire week of seeing everything that Jeep has to offer at this event. Now this is the 56th year of this happening. It happens every year in Moab, Utah, and it's a great event for all of Jeep members, all the Jeep community to go out and really enjoy the beautiful wheeling and beautiful scenery that Utah has to offer. Now with that, every year Jeep brings along a host of their concept vehicles. Now this year was no different. They brought all sorts of cool concept vehicles. Honestly, every year I look forward so much to seeing what they bring. It's something that it's just, you get to see the true performance and the true capability that their design and engineering team has to offer with their vehicles. You see everything from 2 doors, 4 doors, the Magneto 2.0 concept that had Dana 60 axles and a 0 to 60 time in 2.0 seconds. You know that this stuff is probably never gonna hit production, but it's neat to see the true capability that these engineers can do to these vehicles. However, there was one that really stood out to me, and it's something that we've been prefacing a lot, we've been talking a lot about on this channel, and that is the 2023 Rubicon 20th anniversary, and to be specific, the Rubicon 392 20th anniversary. Now this weekend we saw a heavy quotes concept vehicle on the Rubicon 392, and there was a lot of things that stood out to me. There was things that I've been kind of talking about for a little while and that we actually got to see, and there was also some things that I didn't anticipate. The first and biggest one is that they had 37-inch tires with the Extreme Recon wheels. It also looked underneath like they had the steel Extreme Recon extended shocks that come on the 392. And this has been something that's kind of been bugging a lot of people, that they cut that package 2 months ago on the 392. But looking at that, what I've been telling everyone on the phone, texting back and forth, is that I think they were saving up these parts for something special. And I think they're saving them up for that Rubicon 392 20th anniversary edition. On that Jeep, we were able to see, like I said, a whole host of 37-inch tires, as well as the Jeep Performance parts, tire carrier, and the relocation bracket in the back with the third brake light in the center. I personally installed a ton of those. They fit a 37 very well and can hold up to it. So is Jeep testing these out to make sure they can hold up to 37s and be released as a factory option? I think that's something we could be seeing here in the future. I will tell you guys, the biggest thing that I saw that was probably a huge standout for a 2023 model year was what looked to be a updated front grille. Now this grille had a compressed slot area, so the slots actually weren't as tall as they normally are. They were compressed upwards, and then down below there was a filler panel on it. Now to me, when I look at this, I looked at all the other concept vehicles. You can see obviously all sorts of crazy grills, crazy body lines. This one actually looked production ready. I saw some lines in there that looked like the production molding lines where you could pop trim panels out, and it looked very production ready. So if we're talking about a 2023, which would be due for a mid-cycle refresh, that front grille definitely would stand out as being a mid-cycle refresh and a way to distinguish it from the 2018 to 2022 Wrangler. Now, one of the reasons I think they did compress those grills up, so that 7 slot up there, is due to the fact that everyone likes to put winches and aftermarket bumpers onto their factory vehicles, and what that does is cover up most of the 7 slots. You can still see kind of the upper part of them, but you don't see the completely defined slot on there. Now Jeep takes it upon themselves. They've trademarked that 7 slot grille. They've trademarked their name. It is very important to their heritage, and it is something that you notice first and right away, right when you stare at a Wrangler or basically any Jeep vehicle. So I think they compressed that not only to update for a 2023 model refresh, but they also did it to be able to show the entire 7 slots and not let them be covered by a front winch or aftermarket bumper. On the interior of those, we did see the red leather, which would be prevalent to the 2013 10th anniversary Rubicon, which came with all the red leather. So if we're talking about a 20th anniversary, the red would definitely make sense on the inside. But perhaps the coolest thing, I keep saying the coolest things because when these come out, I'm really excited to check them out. We got some photos from downtown in Moab, Utah of it looks to be an Inca Gold Rubicon 392. Now I can tell you, I am the biggest fan of yellow Wranglers. I absolutely love them. And Inca Gold back in 2003 was one of my favorite colors. If I could get my hands on one of those, I definitely would. But being that it's a brand new Wrangler, giving heritage back to 20 years old of a Rubicon color, could Jeep be releasing all sorts of retro colors? That would be pretty sick in my opinion. Release all those colors that came out in 2003 and slap them onto a brand new refreshed vehicle. And I will tell you guys, with this 2023 20th anniversary Rubicon, that's a mouthful to say, we want to be able to get you guys the information as soon as possible. So I'm going to drop some information towards the end of this video. If you guys are interested in basically being able to factory order one of these as soon as they come out, stay tuned to the ends of the video. I will give you some more information on how you can do that. So into the last segment of the video, obviously I talked a lot about what we saw at Easter Jeep Safari and what I'm seeing on the computer here, all these different photos, all the different renderings, and there's some things I haven't seen. So here are my predictions for the 2023 Rubicon 20th anniversary, and I'll talk specifically on the 392, but overall overall, just the Rubicon 20th anniversary. Now, what I think is going to happen, I mentioned it earlier, I think we're going to go with a set of 37-inch tires, Extreme Recon wheels, and then we will use that Extreme Recon lift. I think what they're going to use is do a 2-inch lift instead of an 1.5 inch to get a little bit more extra clearance. And I can personally vouch for the fact that a Mopar 2-inch lift on an Extreme Recon Jeep will fit 37s very nicely. We had a good friend of mine and customer from New Jersey that did that on his Extreme Recon, and it fit flawlessly. So it will work, and it was even on those factory Extreme Recon wheels. So I got a chance to look at that, and if that's what comes out, that's going to be pretty awesome. On the exterior, we did see a couple things that for me were very prevalent of what Jeep likes to do from the factory. So I saw on the hood they did a Rubicon 20th anniversary logo, and then scripted kind of horizontally or almost diagonally across, they listed all the specifications of that. Now, we've seen that a couple times. I've seen it in the 2020 Recon edition, and I've also seen it on the JK on that, once again, Recon edition, where they listed all the specs on the hood kind of in a subdued format. That was a very factory style decal, and that wasn't just done randomly. That to me didn't look like a concept. It looked a lot like something that we might be seeing. Now, the interior is something that I think they didn't touch on as much in this concept vehicle because I think it might have given away too much. On the interior, we did see the red leather, the red dash, and the red center console, but we did not see an update to anything else on there. One of the big things I'm waiting on and predicting is that Jeep is going to announce Uconnect 5 on the interior of the vehicle. Uconnect 5 is the updated to the Uconnect 4 and includes features such as TomTom navigation, wireless CarPlay, wireless Android Auto, and a host of other features that come on there, as well as a completely updated background, updated screen layout. You can put widgets on there, you can add your own screens, and do a lot with it. Plus, it's a little bit bigger than the 8.4 inch. And in a world of increasing screen size to meet consumer demand, I think that increased screen size would be a great option for a mid-cycle refresh. Besides that, the steering wheel is something I've also been noticing on all of the other Jeep branded vehicles, including the Grand Wagoneer, the Wagoneer, the Cherokee, Compass. They seem to be all updating that design. So it's going away from that standard JL steering wheel. That one was used in a ton of vehicles, but I think they might update the steering wheel a little bit as well. And if they were really good about it, they would include paddle shifters on all of them. I know my wife's Grand Cherokee L, even with the 3.6, has paddle shifters, and I really wish they would add it on all the JL Wranglers. I think that would be a sick upgrade. Now, obviously what we talked about today is my predictions on what's going to happen, and hopefully it all comes true. I'd love to see a set of 37 and kind of a last hurrah for that Rubicon 20th anniversary edition. I think it would be really extremely neat to see it completely decked out from the factory with a full warranty and all that. Now, I mentioned towards the middle of the video, if you guys have stayed along to this point and you're interested in ordering a 2023 Rubicon or a 2023 Wrangler in general, what I'm going to do is set up an Excel spreadsheet and get all of your information. If you email it over, we'll drop that right down below. It's going to be in my work email. So right in the subject line, just do 2023 Wrangler and give me your name and contact info and maybe a little bit more info on what you're looking to order. I'm going to make a complete spreadsheet, and that first day that the order banks are open for the 2023, it is going to be all hands on deck here at the dealership. And if you guys know, and if you've been following along with the channel, we release information as soon as it's available, and sometimes those vehicles are not available very long. It happened with the High Tide package. The first 500 turned into beach editions, and luckily enough, I was releasing the video the day before you could actually order them. So that next morning at 9 o'clock, order banks opened and we could place all those orders. If you guys want to be the first of the game with these 2023s, definitely reach out. Like I said, use the email. If you text me, we can still work it out a little bit, but the email is going to be really easy for me to do and pop it right into there and keep all of your information. Now, if you guys like this video, definitely drop a like and give me a comment on what you want to see next, or what are some of your predictions for the 2023 Wrangler, or even just some videos that you guys would like to see, some content that you'd like me to talk about, or maybe some of your own predictions. Now, until next time, I'm Matt from Susquauto Automotive. I'll catch you on the next one.